Yep, says it's recording. All right. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to New to Oils. I'm Stacy Dobernecker, and Cara Clemens now, right, is joining me, and we're filling in for Skyla. Skyla's vacationing with her family, and we said that we would host this meeting tonight. Let's see. What we're going to do is we're going to go through the basics of what Young Living is as a company. We're going to talk about seed to seal and the 3 ways that you can use oils. But we also know that there are many other uses many other products with Young Living. So we'll talk about diffusing and cleaning and personal product use and emotions and sleep. So we'll just go over those real briefly, and then we would really love to we have one guest with us, Diane, and if somebody else joins us or Diane has a question, then we'll answer those. Otherwise, Cara and I have some favorites that we'd like to share with you. Most of you, I think, who are going to join this call, perhaps in the replay, are new to Young Living, and we know it can be a little overwhelming. And we certainly want to help you along the way, because we had to do the same thing, and we're learning every time I get on a call, right, Cara? Every time I get on a call, I learn something new.
Yep, every time.
And I think everybody can say that, and that's one of the great things about Young Living, is the community that you can share and learn and really work to improve your life. So here we go. Let's see, I wanted to tell you that Young Living is a 26-year-old company now. We celebrated 25 years last year at convention. And this company, Young Living, is the pioneer in the modern essential oil business. So Gary Young, 25, 30, probably 30 or 35 years ago, started this quest. And has, and he's passed on, but his legacy remains, building a really, really strong company. And what I really love about the company of Young Living is the integrity. And you will see examples of the integrity of Young Living and the respect and love that really they have for us, the members. The members are really, the backbone of Young Living, and they recognize that. And the other 2 things I wanted to make sure I mentioned is the stewardship of the earth that Young Living demonstrates. Time and time again, you'll hear about the farms and the farming practices. Sometimes we'll go out of stock with some oils or some other products because that certain plant oil is not available. And it can be frustrating, but I always really think about the fact that went out because, there was maybe a drought, or there was a fire, or, we just had a really big demand, and the plant can't grow any faster than the plant can grow. And Young Living is not going to alter that. Young Living is not going to get an inferior plant. It's not going to rush the plants in some artificial way. So if it's out of stock, that's okay. It's going to be back the best of their ability. The other thing I wanted to make sure we mentioned tonight is the foundation. Young Living also gives back to our world. There are so many aspects of the foundation, from school in Ecuador to fighting malaria, providing shoes and care for kids who have trouble with their feet in Africa, anti-human trafficking. And what's so cool is that every time you purchase, you can round your total up to the next dollar, and those pennies, seems like pennies, but it really works to be much, much money, is given to the foundation. And the other thing is, when you give to Young Living Foundation, 100% of what you give goes to the work. The sales of the oils go to paying the salaries, but when you give to the foundation, all of that goes to the foundation's work, and I think that's just fabulous. Okay. Let's see. The other thing I wanted to talk about was seed to seal. So perhaps when you signed up, you heard about seed to seal. So what is that? It's really something that we want to build upon when we are talking about our products, because it's really what sets us apart. Because you can go to, a Whole Foods, a really, nice grocery store, organic grocery store, something like that. You can go to Walmart. You can find them online. Lots of essential oils out there, right? Essential oils are trendy. But why do invest in Young Living oils. And one of the biggest reasons is the seed to seal. And that means from the time we plant the little seed to the time the oil is put into the bottle, it has received the best care, testing, cultivation. The way that we extract the oil from the plants is of the highest quality. And in fact, we were talking the other night that there's a therapeutic grade of oil, right? There's this called the therapeutic grade, and Young Living standards are actually above that. And and Young Living tests all their oils several times, and then if it doesn't meet that, then they do not use it in the Young Living product. So seed to seal is really, really a big deal. You can also visit farms. You can just, if you're traveling through Utah or the Northwest and there's a Young Living farm, if you're a member or not, you can visit the farm, all right, which is really cool. Did you visit in Utah, Cara?
Yeah, probably 3 times now. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow, yeah. Yeah. So it's beautiful.
It's fun, yeah.
All right, so the last thing I want to make sure that we know is the 3 ways that oils are used. The oils are either used aromatically, and that we most often think of that as diffusing. You put it in your diffuser, and with the water, the little vapor comes out. Or you can put a drop of oil in your hand, and we do this. I was always taught to go 1, 2, 3, and then we cup the hands and smell, inhale that oil. All right. The second way is topically, all right, on the skin. And then the third way is internally. And Young Living is really specific about their internal oils. We have what's called the Vitality oils, and I don't have one right here. It has a white label. Cara's got one there.
Oh, I don't either. I'm sorry.
That's all right. So they're white labeled. And the reason they're labeled differently is per the FDA request that the oils that are used internally be specifically labeled as such.
Well, I have a brochure, so here's.
Oh yeah. Oh, perfect. Oh yeah. No, that's great. That's great.
Yeah. There we go.
And what's so interesting is that the peppermint oil that's in the green bottle and the peppermint oil that's in the white bottle with the green label, with the green writing, is the same oil. Okay. So when you get home, you can do with them what you want. But there are some oils, I think, that only come in the Vitality, and that's being promoted this month with our essential rewards. So I got today that I've never had before, Mountain Savory, is that right? Mm-hmm. And some other Vitality oils for cooking. So that's exciting. So the Vitality oils are for cooking, and also people will put them in drinks or perhaps a little veggie capsule for different desired uses. Okay. All right, Cara, anything to add to Young Living as a company, seed to seal, or how we use the oils?
I mean, I just like the seed to seal promise because I just love that they don't put pesticides and chemicals in there. That's huge for me and my family because we learned a lot about that, and that's why I chose Young Living, was because of their promise and because Young Living's been like a family to me. I've met you and so many other people. I have the best friends ever, and we help each other out. So I enjoy all the events to go to whenever I can because I get to see all of you, and it's the funnest time. So
that's true. That's so true. Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad you brought up the pesticides and herbicides that we do not use, right? But we use natural ones. And I'm a French teacher, so I'm always interested in the lavender fields of France. And there was a post several months ago of the sheep grazing in the lavender fields, not eating the lavender, but eating any of the weeds and such that came up. So I just thought that was so cool. Yes. Can you talk about how to get the oil out of the bottle? It sounds really like elementary, but we want to make sure that everybody understands.
Yes. So let me go grab I'll do Valor because I love that one.
So that's the one I had.
I have empty bottles of this all over my house. That's how much I use it. So yes, there's different ways you can use it. So I just turn it over and let it drop in my hand and just be patient. Some are slower. Citrus ones are really fast usually. So you might get 2 at a time. And then a drop is in your hand, and I just rub my hands together and I just rub it all over me. Valor is really good for your wrist too. I like to put that one on there. I'll put it on right before I speak. Yes. Help calm me down, relax me. So That's how you do it. And then you just breathe it in
Mm.
and just take a moment to enjoy it.
Yeah, do enjoy it.
Yes.
Another thing I like to show is that if you want to get this off,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'll tell you why I take it off. You take the cap and the lip will catch
Yep.
that, what's it called? There's a name for that and I don't know what it is. Not the stopper, it's something else.
Right.
And then to put it back on, you just screw the lid on all the way, and it'll go on. And the reason I do that is when these get down, you don't have any oil, you think you don't have any oil left, I undo all that and I put them in a bowl of water. And I'll do a couple different maybe bottles, and then the water that I get, I put in the diffuser.
Oh, yeah.
Just so I get the very last molecules as many as I can. And it makes a nice diffuser.
And I put mine in Epsom salts. So.
Oh, yeah, that too.
And then you can put it back to have a wonderful bath.
Yeah.
Or soak your feet, one of the two.
Or soak the feet. Yes. Yes. And I think, if you just leave them open, it's like a little potpourri type using as well.
Yep.
Okay. Can you talk to us about what happens if you get oil in your eyes?
Yes. So occasionally, you forget that you just rubbed your oils on your hands, and we're always good about touching our eye, especially if you get peppermint or something like that around your eye. Always use a fatty oil like olive oil, coconut oil. V6 is our Young Living carrier oil that we use. Just anything that's a fatty oil, and just put it wherever you got it at. Because some of our oils are hot, like Thieves is a hot oil, oregano is. Peppermint can be for some people. So guaranteed, if your kids get into it once, they will, and they get it all over their face or something, just grab the fatty oil, rub it all over them. Because if you use water and oil never mix. Remember that. So it'll make it worse. So you always want to use another oil with an oil to help blend it and get it taken care of.
Yeah, very much. And that V6 oil is wonderful.
It is. I love it.
Just a blend, and it's just the right blend. It just absorbs into the skin nicely, leaves you soft, not greasy.
Not greasy, yeah.
Yeah, I really, really like it.
Yes.
Good. So one other thing we wanted to tell you as a new member, that you each go to the website and you enter your number and your password, or I use my email and my password, and then you have what's called your dashboard. And the dashboard is a place that you'd really be a good idea to go and spend, even 15, 20 minutes and just kind of cruise around and see, because there's so much information there. Of course, you can shop, right? And there are two ways to shop. The first is called Shop Now, where you just place an order, when you want it. And then the other is the Essential Rewards, when you are on the loyalty monthly purchase. So you can go in there, and I just go in there to look at stuff. I'm not necessarily going to put it in my shopping cart. So from the shop is where I go and I look at stuff. But there are also things about your past history, information about the oils. If you want to promote the oils, there's a link generator where you can share with other people. If they want to join Young Living and you would be their sponsor, then there's a nice link there. What else is in there, Cara?
I like that you can look up your shipping information, just track your shipping. So that's always good to go see where it's at and make sure that it's processed and everything, because sometimes there's little glitches here and there, but I love that you can track everything and see everything on there. And I love all the education, of course, on there. There's videos and all that. If you want to know if you're looking for a particular oil, if you know you need a particular oil, but you might not have it, you can look up, like, for example, rosemary, and it'll list everything that has rosemary in it. So I like the quick order or the shop, and it lists all the products with that oil in it. So in case you're looking for a particular item, you can find it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Good. Okay, so Cara and I, we talked a little earlier about what we were going to do, and we were going to share our stories about how we got started. So I always have to look it up. I think it's going to be 8 years for me this fall. I think it's 8 years that I've been with Young Living. Maybe a little, I can't remember. I think it's 2012. But anyway, I was invited to a class here in Nevada from a lady I really didn't even know. You know, she knew somebody that I knew. And I went to her house. There were a whole bunch of people. And I was not, I was totally was not in the market for this, like specifically. But my whole kind of life, I'd always been really kind of more concerned about, why do I have this trouble? You know, why does my head hurt? And instead of just taking something, saying, you know, why did that happen? Do I need sleep? Did I eat something that didn't agree with me? Am I, you know, is it my cycle? Something like that. So I really like the approach of being able to do that. And we started, and I think I don't know if we fell in love with thieves or with purification first. I think it might have even been thieves, because my husband, not thieves, I'm sorry, purification. We use it for odor fighting. And my husband said, oh, it still smells like bacon in here. And he left, and I put on the purification, and about 45 minutes later, he came back. He says, hey, that bacon smell is gone. And I was like, yeah, and it doesn't smell like bacon with purification. It just smells like purification. It just took care of that, because I really don't like it when people mask bad odors with something else. Then that odor, it just all mixes up for me. So and it's been really good for us. Cleaning, we use them all over. Cleaning and wellness and supplements. We just love it. How about you, Cara?
I started, when you said 8 years, I'm like, how long has it been? And I think it's like 7 years for me now that I've been using Young Living. And my reason to start was I used to get sinus infections all the time. And the medication would always have horrible side effects with me. And I was just kind of tired of it. And I wanted to figure out why I was getting them and take care of the problem, but take care of it more naturally. And I worked in a pharmacy, and so I knew all about side effects and stuff like that. So I had wanted to know more about alternative ways to take care of myself. And I was learning about chemicals and toxins too at the time. So I started taking classes, and of course, the instructor said, you really should try some thieves. You should start with that one for yourself. And so I did. And so I would put thieves on the bottom of my feet twice a day, diffuse it. I had learned how to not use Scentsy in my house anymore. That was hard. I like the suggestion. She said, just put it in a garbage bag, put it in your basement for a month, and just try it. And I never went back, because once I smelled Scentsy and candles, I can't stand them anymore, because you detox your body after a while after you use essential oils. So once I started to detox and use essential oils daily, I never got a sinus infection ever again. And that is my savior right there, is Young Living, because those were horrible. I would get them a couple times a year, and my allergies too were big too. And I don't have problems with those either since I started. So I'm able to use essential oils and the supplements to take care of myself and prevent it from happening. So it's just all about taking care of yourself and learning about why you're getting it, and then taking care of you.
Right. And I just love the approach that Young Living has, that your body knows what to do. Your body is perfect. And, you know, we've given it things that lessen its ability. I'll tell you real quick, and I always try to be really compliant on this. Our son was about 14 at the time, and he had this unsightly bump on his finger. And so it was interesting. I never took him to the doctor. My husband always took him to the doctor, because it was during school and all this stuff. And I think twice they froze it off. It came back. And one time they cut it off, and it came back. And then the fourth time they said, we're going to give him Zantac. Think of a Zantac, which is like an antacid and for adults. And I was like, they said, because it has this side effect that it will help with that bump. And I was just like, no, that's crazy. You know, we're giving this kid that for the side effect of maybe. So I just kind of guessed, and he put a drop of thieves, purification, and frankincense on it with a Band-Aid every night. I didn't time it, but it was maybe up to 3 months. So it took a long time. But he's 22 and a half years old, and it's never come back.
That's awesome.
So that's our story.
Yep.
And we've got a few others, you know. And my sons did say after a while, they said, "Hey, Mom, you haven't had one of your headaches." I used to get headaches, so I'd just go in my room after school and stay there. And I do think it's the oils, the detoxing and such that we do. Yeah. So let's see. Oh, good. We're at 8:26. So for several more minutes, Kara and I, we're going to share some of our favorite things. Kara, why don't you start? What do you got? What's favorite for you or for this summer?
I think for the summer, it's been more like peace and calming has been my favorite one. All the craziness happening and with this world right now, and people and stuff like that. So I use a lot of peace and calming at work. So yeah, let me go grab, I have that bottle.
And that's back in the starter kit, correct?
Yeah, it's in the starter kit. So I will just go put a drop and I'll put it around my ears.
Oh.
And I will actually, yeah, so I'll put it around my ears back here. And that's a good place to put some to help support emotions. And then I'll just put it around my neck and stuff and around my shoulders because we get really tense, especially at work. I work with the public, so it can be a little challenging some days. So, but yeah, so I just been using a lot of peace and calming. Even with my kid and stuff, I mean, they are just not understanding what's going on right now. Why can't we go do normal things, go to the movie theater, go play with other people? You know, there's just a lot of things closed. So peace and calming has been very well received in our house. So I love that one.
Yeah, a lot of people like to diffuse that.
Yep.
Let's see, I'm gonna pick lavender, and I'm also gonna say lavaderm. This summer, all summers, I go to the golf course with my son who does tournaments. I drive the cart and eat sandwiches. I do not golf. But I've been wearing a lot of sleeveless, and I tan really easily. But as I've become older, I burn now, so I have to be really careful. So I do put on sunscreen, but I don't put it on all the time because I'm all used to tanning and everything. So I've had some tender shoulders and in the back of my neck and in my décolleté here and everything. So this has been the best thing because this really helps with the hurt and the itch. And when I come home at night from these tournaments, I spray this on my shoulders, and I do not have any hurt or any itch. And then I also use the lavender, and I'll use that sometimes with lotion, sometimes with the V6 oil. And I have experienced no peeling. And that's really, really important to me. So I just swear by that. Lavender is just so good for the skin. And that's when, of course, it's in the starter kit.
Yes.
Gotta have your lavender.
Always lavender for everything.
And then what did I burn myself with the other day? What did I put? Oh, I have been putting coconut cream, real coconut milk in my coffee, and I brought it out of the microwave, and it popped onto me.
Oh.
And I got that lavender out, and can't even tell. You can't even tell. You have to have this in your kitchen as well. If you're like burning myself all the time.
It's in my kitchen too for that same reason. It's a lifesaver.
What else you got?
I also have been using a lot of peppermint this summer because it's been a hot summer. And so it's very cooling when I apply it. So I'll apply that one. I'll just put a couple drops in my hand, and I'll just rub around my neck again and just around my body, and it's cooling. But then I also it helps you breathe really well too, really opens you up and stuff. So if you get stuffy, it really does. I mean, and my husband loves it. He'll just rub it on because he's just like, and he said it just helps wake him up too. So it's just refreshing and it wakes you up, and yeah, it's great. And it's been great for the outdoors at night when it gets to be a little too pesty out with certain things outdoors. So I love it. I'll just put it on all over me too, and I'm good to go. So all summer long, I mean, day and night, I use a lot of peppermint.
Yeah, that's my air conditioning on the golf cart. I put it on the back of my neck. It really works. I was thinking, shoot. Oh, I know. Mask halitosis is a thing. Have you noticed? if you have to wear a mask
Yes.
too long,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, my breath smells.
Yeah.
So I put a drop of peppermint in there, and
Yep.
it really helps. And it also helps me with the comfort of the mask. I
Yeah.
don't like it. I don't like the mask. Don't get me started. But to have that, opens you up, it helps a bit.
Yeah. Because it's, hard to breathe in those things. And I have sinus issues. So it's like one of those I
Oh,
don't want to trigger. So, yep.
no. Yeah, you have to be very careful. Very careful. Okay. Let's see. What else do I have? I brought something for personal care. This is art.
Oh, I
This
love
is the
art.
toner.
It smells
Somebody told me
amazing.
what art stands for. Do you remember what art stands for?
No, but it smells amazing. I love it.
Is it age reverse? Is something with age reversing technique? I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's an anti-aging. So
Yeah.
there are three products generally that you people buy for the art system: the cleanser, the toner is the next step, and then the third step is the moisturizer.
Mm-hmm.
And I've started using I use that at night, but in the morning I've started using the Bloom set, which is our newest skincare set, which is for brightening of the skin. And
Mm-hmm.
I love it. But I found that I really want the toner after the cleanser.
Okay.
So the toner, first of all, just gets rid of any other residue that maybe hasn't been taken away.
Mm-hmm.
And then it gets you back to the right pH for your skin. It really preps the skin for the next steps that you're going to put on, so that your skin is ready to absorb that oil, to absorb the essence, the new Bloom essence.
Yep.
And I've used a toner for a long time. I'm an oily skin person, and this does not strip. With those other toners, you could just feel it just kind of taking it away, kind of a peely type feeling. And this just refreshes and just brings you back. So love this stuff. Love it.
No, I agree. I just bought Bloom Essence, so I'm going to get it here soon. I'm treating myself for my birthday, but I'm still planning on using that toner because I love it on my skin and stuff. So it feels amazing, but I can't wait to use Bloom. I just,
Oh, you love it. You love it.
oh, I know everyone's been
Here's
talking
my
about
trick with the essence. So you're supposed to shake it up and down a couple times, because it mixes. So that's a Young Living thing as well, you guys. You've got to mix sometimes the things.
Mm-hmm.
Why do your other products from Target not require that you mix them? Because there's some kind of ingredient that keeps it mixed that's not good for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll mix it myself. That's fine with me. So you put it in your hand, and then they have you put it on your skin like this. And there's always just a little left over. And so I put it on my hands.
Oh, nice.
Because your hands get a lot of sun.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really think that that's helpful to the hands to brighten that skin as well.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Yeah, you're going to love it because it's delightful. Delightful. You got anything else there?
I was just gonna say I've been using a lot of Thieves hand sanitizer and the spray. A lot.
Oh, yes.
Of course. So I always have this at work and with me, like in the car, in the grocery stores, wherever I'm at, because I don't want to use the stuff that they have. I mean, they're so short of the hand sanitizer. And a lot of it, especially in Iowa here, they get them from breweries and stuff, and they're like pure alcohol. And we got one for at work, and it's like 80% alcohol. Like I feel like you're drinking vodka or something.
It does. It does. I was at a wedding, and they had an ice cream cart, and so they have one there. And I don't often do it, but I did, and it was like totally liquid.
Yes.
And I was like, "This is vodka."
Yes.
That's so funny. So.
And it just dries out your hands so bad, and I don't want to use that. And ours doesn't dry out our hands, so I like it. And there's nothing bad in here where there's so many other hidden ingredients in this store stuff that, I mean, you're using it so much anymore that I just carry this around. I give it to my kids and say, here, take it to school. If they ask you, you just take this out and use it. So
that's right. And I've met some people, whose jobs really require that they wash their hands frequently, who really appreciate the Thieves because their fingers are cracking, and that other hand sanitizer hurts.
Yes.
And ours doesn't hurt. So, and it keeps them nice and soft. That's true.
Yes.
That's
and we have soap, hand soap too from them, and I love it. So.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I just use this on the carts to spray down the carts instead of the hand wipes from the grocery store. And people always stop me like, it smells like Christmas. I said, I know, it's just Thieves.
No, that's the greatest stuff. Greatest stuff. Have to have your hand sanitizer.
Yes.
Okay, I think I have one more thing to share, but it's actually three things. So I'm going to talk a little bit. We have supplements in Young Living. This is multi-greens, and this is Super Bee, and then this is the Ningxia Red. And in your starter kit, you've got a couple of these. And I was looking at these earlier today and noticed that on the packaging, Ningxia Red says energize, fortify, revitalize. And Super Bee says, oh my gosh, this is so tiny. This is embarrassing. I don't have enough light. But it said, yes, something for healthy energy. Okay, healthy energy. And this one says energizing greens with revitalizing oil. So what's the common theme? Energy. And I take, these are my basic supplements that I take absolutely every day. And my fun story, I think, with them is that when I went to France with my students, it wasn't this spring, we got canceled. So a year ago in the spring, I'd been counseled by a Young Living friend to really double up before I went and take Inner Defense, which is like has a lot of thieves in it and a few other things. And I did that, and on my trip, I every once in a while I double up on the greens. Every once in a while I double up on the bee. So I did a little more and drank the Ningxia Red every day. And when I came back, I did not have jet lag.
Oh, wow.
It was amazing. Amazing. Now I was, of course, tired. So France is 7 years ahead of us. So, about 9, 10 o'clock at night, I'm like, I gotta go to bed. But what used to happen to me is I'd be standing teaching my class about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'd get these waves of fatigue over me. And it did not happen this time. And I really credit these supplements. So really, really amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love the energy ones, and Super Bee, it's good for mood too. So it keeps you kind of happier as well.
And in a natural way.
In a natural way, yes.
Very natural way. The energy that you get from the Ningxia, the sugar, those who need to watch their sugars, they find that this does not spike the sugar. It gives you a nice, even energy. So that's
it really helps balance out your sugar levels. That's why it's really good for like me, just to keep my sugar levels normal. And I like that it helps with that. And yeah, you don't get jittery when you drink it, those energy drinks and stuff. You don't get that at all. It's just natural energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Right. Well, I think we are about through. Anything else you want to add about?
Just for like sleeping. I know sometimes I was gonna mention about sleeping quick, because I know a lot of people might have issues sleeping or just get on a routine for sleeping for school coming up. But I like to use lavender and cedarwood a lot in my diffuser. Yeah. So, because cedarwood just helps you go into a deeper sleep. And so I'll put that on the bottom of my feet as well. And Valor helps shut down my mind as well. I use Valor, especially on my son, because he sleepwalks. And he's a very energetic boy. So we need to help him wind down and make sure he just gets into a deeper sleep. So I put Valor on the back of his neck, brainstem, and his big toes and stuff, and he just goes down.
And I bet he appreciates that, doesn't he?
Yes.
He knows how that makes him feel good.
Yeah, and he says that. He comes up to me, he's like, can I have some, because I'm just not winding down? I said, yep. So we get
that's great. Yeah. And I love how you mentioned the big toe, right?
Yes.
Big toe is interesting.
Yep.
Really good place to put your oils.
Yep.
Start circulating up through your body. That's where I put thieves every night. As a teacher, it's important for me to do that, I think. And then cedarwood I put on my feet every night as well.
Yeah, very grounding, and we all need a lot of grounding.
Yes, we do. All right. Diane's back there. Diane, do you have any questions or anything you think we need to tell these new people?
Well, no, but every time I listen, I learn something from you guys. I know about cedarwood, and there's something else in the back too. I forgot what you guys talked about. So I had you going while I was working.
Hey, well, thanks for joining us tonight.
Yeah, so definitely have to remember some of those tricks that you talked about.
Okay, very good.
Even though you've been doing it for what, 5 years now, Kara? I can't remember how long I've been doing this now.
It's about
Yeah.
7 years now already. Yeah.
That there's always something that you learn from somebody else that,
Oh yeah, I'm still learning. I will continue to learn.
yeah.
Good. All right. Well, we welcome all of our new members, and do reach out. You know, we're having, we're blessed to be able to do things on Zoom, right? That we can't get together in person like we would really, really love to do. And we do have this, and and it is fun. You know,
Yep.
it's new and different. All right. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Let's see. Stop. Where's the stop the recording?
I think you just hit
Oh, there
record.
it is up there. There it is. Stop the recording.